CLI a cross-platform IDE for C and C++. Download now.
So when the compiler gives you errors, make SFINAE. So if we're serializing objects, we might write a write-it offset function. So it just takes in an object, an offset, and then just writes it into our byte buffer at that offset. And then we want to return the new offset into the buffer. And that works just fine for a struct like this. So it's going to an int and a bool. And whenever we write it in, our next offset is 8. That's fine. So and then we change it again. We add a bool. And the answer is 12. And that's not an error. That's foreshadowing. So what about this struct then? So we add an enum instead of bools. And the problem with this is we don't get an offset. We don't even get a program. We get a compiler error. And the error says invalid application of sizeof to non-numeric type. Now this is in fact a compiler bug. We can't actually call sizeof of any struct within an enum. And at this point, you're probably asking, I've never seen this. We do this all the time. So a little bit of a confession. I'm not talking about C++ here at all. I'm talking about a little language called HLSL, which stands for High Level Shading Language. And this is, in fact, the logo. And the nice thing is, with HLSL 2021, we got templates, 23 years late, but we got them. And you'll see here in the commit that actually brought the feature to the repository. It says, support is more or less equivalent to C++ 98. More or less is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So the nice thing about 98 is we can make SFINAE. Now, we don't have a standard library, but we can just make it ourselves. We make enable F here, and we can make a type trait. So has enum. So the whole idea is if we get to the primary template here, we do have an enum, right? Because we're going to say, if this expression is not valid, we go up to the primary template, we get true. If it's valid, we get false. So we know if we've got an enum. So that's pretty good. So then we go off and test it, because we're good engineers. So we make a test struct that has an enum and one that doesn't. You write some static asserts. That might look a bit weird to some people, because we didn't get the C++11 static asserts. No, we got the C11 static assert. And this is further confounding, because whenever you write it like this, you get a C++ error saying that we're not allowed to write this without a C++17 extension because we've got no error message. So more or less. But the nice thing is, once we're doing all of this work to test, we find a loophole. We can actually work around the problem. So we can make our own sizeof by getting the size of a sizeof helper and passing in the type. And the loophole is that, yes, you can't get the size of any struct that has an enum in it, but you can just hoist that enum up to a base class, and then it can get the size of. So we've worked around the problem, thankfully, thanks to the power of SFINAE. But we're not done there. I just want to leave you with one point. Please don't be Denver Coder 9. So we've all been there, right? Where we just looked for something that's very esoteric like this, and then we find that one person had this problem and never came back to say if they'd solved the problem or not. So the nice thing is, Mr. Favela here, he actually posted this compiler bug on the GitHub, and whenever I came across the way of detecting this, I posted my solution, as a good engineer should. And then once I found my workaround, I also did the same. So yes, don't be Denver Coder 9. Please share the knowledge that you have worked on. It's helped everybody. Although this probably has helped maybe 2 people in the world. That's my talk. Here's some links. Please come to my talk tomorrow. That's it.